let you know that we are using 2 blocks, a strap, a massage ball, and a chair as an option. So starting seated, feeling your sits bones connecting to whatever you are supported by right now. Today I'd like to focus on healing of the body, either our own bodies, the mind, the spirit, the soul, or healing of others. Setting intentions and sending prayers for healing for those around us. So perhaps if you'd like to close your eyes, you're welcome to do that, and just noticing what in you may be in need of healing. Body, mind, soul. And perhaps bringing to mind and heart someone in your life or a group of beings in your life that you are aware need healing of body, mind, or soul. And bringing that awareness into the space of your mat, into the space of your sacred practice. And we'll start with Shebeirach. Shebeirach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Laimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. May it be your will to grant a swift and full healing of body, mind, and soul. Today our pranayama, or our breathing practice, will be alternate nostril breathing. And if you're not able to breathe in through one or both nostrils without struggle because of congestion, don't worry about it. You can just practice some belly breathing through both nostrils, getting whatever air you can in. If you need to breathe through your mouth, it's okay. Just breathe calmly and focus on the belly. For those of you practicing alternate nostril breath, we'll be going back and forth, breathing into each nostril and out through each nostril, alternating. There are breathing techniques where you just breathe through one, and that does different things to the brain and helps either calm the nervous system or brighten it. This is a nice balancing technique, so we'll do both nostrils. You can use whatever fingers you want. I'm going to use my right thumb on my right nostril, and then you can use your index finger on your left nostril, or the ring finger, which is a little more traditional. So first take a deep breath in and let it out. And then close your right nostril with your thumb and breathe in through your left. Close the left nostril and breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Close the right, breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Close left, breathe out right. Inhale through the right. Close the right, breathe out left. Continue on your own for several rounds. Take another round, and as you end, make sure you end with an exhale on the left side. Let your hands rest somewhere on your body that feels comfortable, and bring your breath back to a natural rhythm. Noticing any shift in your mind and body. From your seated position, whether on the floor or on a chair, we'll start to wake up the spine. So rounding the back and tucking the tailbone, a seated cat-cow. Inhaling as you open up the chest, looking up. Exhaling, rounding, tucking the tailbone, dropping the chin toward the chest, pulling in on the belly. Inhaling, opposite direction. Let's do a few more. Last round. And return to an upright position. Let's take some side bends, lifting the left arm, reaching over to the right. As you reach with your fingertips, at the same time press down through the left hip and sits bone. Good, let's change sides. Growing nice and tall first, and then a side bend. Rooting through the right sits bone, reaching through the right arm. Good, let's do one more set on each side. Big breath in. Exhaling as you lean. Good. And back to center. We're going to bring in a little bit of a mantra or prayer, embodied prayer. So we'll inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, twist over to one side, bringing those fingertips down. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale through center, and then exhale your hands to your heart. So that's the movement. We'll start again. Inhale, reach up. As you twist, healing around me. Inhale through center. Healing all around me. Inhale through center. Healing above me. Hands to the heart, healing within me. Inhale, reach up, twist, healing all around me. Healing all around me. Healing above me. Healing within me. On your own again. Let your hands rest at your heart when you're done. Calling in healing and wholeness. From your seated position, you can do this from a chair as well. We're going to do, from seated, I'll show you what this looks like. We're going to do some knee down twists. So I'm leaning back and just rocking my knees from side to side. If you're in chair, you can get similar mobility by just reaching one knee up and out and then back in. So making a choice, what works for you. So just really focusing on the femur, the thigh bone as it enters into that pelvic area, and just bringing some nice fresh circulation to that area. Being really gentle if you're working with anything chronic or acute in your body. Only do what feels supportive. Good. And go ahead and come up onto to stand and have your massage ball handy. We're going to keep warming up this lower body. And we'll start with the one foot. I'm going to start with my right foot, just giving that foot a little ironing out. So we bring healing to the whole body when we work with the feet. Finding your breath, breathing in through the nose, a nice full deep breath. And as you breathe out, try to really empty the lungs completely, really pressing your belly muscles inward, emptying out before the next breath comes in. Good, let's switch over to the other foot. I'm reading a book called Breath. I don't know if any of you have read it or heard of it. I don't remember the title of the author, but I know it's just called Breath. It's a yellow book. Anyway, this guy is amazing, and it's a fascinating and interesting read. It's very engaging, and I'm just learning a lot. It's really validating the work we do as yoga practitioners and how good breathing practices are for us. And especially breathing through the nose as often as you possibly can. And also the focus on the exhale, how important that is to exercise the diaphragm and to create more mobility in the rib cage and more accessible areas of the lungs that we don't really get to when we're not able to fully exhale. So always just bringing in that full exhale when you think about it, and breathing in through the nose if that's available to you. passes on the foot. And then we can place that off to the side. And your block is an option here. I'm going to turn sideways to show you what I'm offering as a dynamic hamstring and back of the leg opener. You don't have to use the block. I'll show you with the block to start. The block is on the lowest setting. I'm going to bring my right foot to the block. The heel's going to touch the floor, and then my toes, or you know, everybody's foot's a different size, right? So whatever part of your upper foot can touch the block, so that you're getting a little bit of a Achilles stretch and calf stretch if you bend your knee and lean forward a bit. So there's that little calf stretch. I have my left foot back, and you'll have to adjust your stance so that you can hinge at your hips and bend forward, hips hinge forward, and then inhale, reach up. Arms in a goalpost. Inhale, scoop forward, reach up. So my knee's a little bit bent, but the straighter you make your leg, the front leg, the more you'll get into your hamstring. And if the block isn't working for you today, just bring the foot out in front of you. You can lift the heel. That's also going to help you get into your hamstring. So just see what works for you today. Breathing in, scooping up, and bringing it back to the body. So just imagine you're just bringing in healing energy and just washing it over you. Kind of like an elephant, you know, just reaching down for water with its big trunk, and then it brings the trunk up and just gives itself a big old shower. So just bring in the healing and let it rain down. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. Good. And then just shake that leg out. Go ahead and bring your feet to hip width apart. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, dive forward with a flat back to your block. And just notice any change between the right leg that you just did a little opening with and the left leg. Pull your belly in. Start to slide your hands up your legs. Nice flat back. And come on up. So we'll set up the same way. Whatever you started with on the right side, we'll do on the left. Feel free to play around with it. The important thing here, though, is to keep your belly pulled in as you hinge forward. You're thinking of your sits bones kind of reaching up to the sky. So you're not rounding in your lower back. So everyone will come down to a different place in space before they feel their stretch. Breathing. Breathe in, scoop up, sits bones back. Exhale, shower, healing all over the body. Let's do 2 more. Good. Bring your legs together, hip width apart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, dive forward with a flat back, landing on your blocks or on the floor. Release your head. Maybe bending the knees like you're walking in place. Straightening or almost straightening one leg and then the other. And then pull your belly in, slide your hands up, all the way up, reach your arms out to the side, and hands to your heart. Good. You can remove your block off of your mat and open up your legs a little wider than hip width apart, and just do some hip circles, really big ones. Again, we're stirring deep in that hip socket, preparing for our standing poses, getting into the outer hips. Change your direction of your circles. Keep breathing. Good. And come to center. center upright here. We'll practice a little bit of dynamic balance and also just activating these hip muscles. So if you would like to use a chair for a little extra balance support, please feel free to do that. We're going to step on the left foot first, and hands can be on the hips or out for balance. And we're going to point the toes, the right toes, out in front of us, lift the leg a bit, and sweep it around like you're drawing a half circle. When you get behind you, make sure not to arch your lower back. Use your glutes to lift your leg, and then bring your knee back up in front of you, extend the leg, and sweep around. So I'm looking for sensation in the butt and the gluteus and the back of the leg, and nothing really in the lower back. We want the leg to do all the work, which means that maybe your range of motion will be a little bit smaller than you were expecting. Let's do one more. And release. Good. Shake out your standing leg. That just got a nice little warm up. Your ankle's got to warm up too. And then change over to the right leg as your standing leg. Lift up the left foot in front of you, pointed toes, and start with your half circles. Gazing at something that's not moving is always helpful. 2 more. And release. Go ahead and shake, just shake it out. Make your whole body like jello. Okay. So we're coming into some standing poses. I'm going to start with 2 blocks at the front of the mat. We're going to take a crescent lunge here. So let's start with the left foot forward, the right foot back. You're going to square your hips. I need to move my mat 1 second. You're going to square your hips toward the front of the mat. And you're going to bend your front knee and your back knee. You're on the toes of your back foot. So you might feel like you're on a tight rope. If you do, then open up your stance a little bit from left to right. Bend both knees. Again, using some support next to you is totally fine. As you bend both knees, tuck your tailbone. So imagine you have frontal, like pockets in the front of your pants, and you're going to pull up on the pockets. You're pulling up on those frontal hip bones and pushing down on the back pockets. Getting right into your psoas. Good. We're going to open up the arms into our open chest position for crescent lunge. And breathe. Now you see your blocks in front of you or the seat of the chair, whatever's in front of you. You're going to hinge forward, bring your hands to those blocks, and flatten your back foot on the floor. So now you're in a lunge with the back foot flat. You're going to keep the front foot where it is if that works for you. And I'm going to just use my left block and bring it either closer to my outer ankle or inside my ankle. And start to straighten the front leg and open the front of your body to the long edge of your mat. So we're coming into a triangle. The right arm comes up. Press your hips a little bit forward. Breathe here. Good. So start to bend the front knee. And come on up. I'm going to take a bind here, which is just turning my right palm away from me, so it's turning behind me, and bring it to my lower back, just for a little front shoulder stretch. If that does not feel good on your shoulder, don't even worry about it. We're going to take a reverse warrior, so either with your bind with your right arm or with your right arm just on your thigh. Reach up to the heavens, ground down through your feet, all the edges of your feet. Breathe in. Good. We're going to come back into triangle pose. So start to straighten the front leg, find your block or your support. Right arm comes up. Breathe. And then maybe taking the bind with your right arm, bend the front knee and sweep the left arm up and back. Reverse warrior. And come on back, just a warrior two. Good. And we're going to step the back foot forward to meet the front. And we'll take a forward fold. So inhale, reach up. And exhale, just dive forward, let it go. And we'll take the same series on the second side. So right foot is forward this time. Coming into Crescent Lunge. So toes of the back leg. Bending both knees to start. The back knee is bent to start. Drawing the tailbone down and the frontal hip bones up. Stretching the quadricep muscle here. Coming into Cactus Arms or goalpost arms. Breathe. Getting a nice stretch in the toes. Good. Take a gaze down to your blocks or support you're using. Reach for those blocks. Flatten your back foot so you've got nice connection to your mat. Bring your right block somewhere next to your ankle, either outer ankle or inner. Keeping that front knee bent. Just start here. And then hand on the hip, the left hand is on the hip. Start to straighten the leg and rotate the chest to the side. Left arm comes up. Breathe, triangle pose. Keep your belly pulled in here and your breath flowing. Good. Bend the front knee. Maybe taking the bind with your left arm behind your back. Reaching the right arm up. Reach up, 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 and then maybe a little back bend. Listen to your body. These are all just options. And then start to straighten the front knee as you sweep the arms back into triangle pose. Pull the belly in. Big breath. And one more time, bend the front knee. Bind with the left arm, maybe reach up with the right arm and back. Nice rib cage stretch here. Good, beautiful. And then come back to warrior two. And you can bring your blocks in front of you. We're going to take a wide, we're not going to lean forward yet, but we're going to just have our blocks handy and keep our legs nice and wide into a little squat here. So we'll be here for a minute or so. Feel free to adjust your squat if it starts to feel too intense. So knees are pointed out, tracking over the second and third toes. Toes are pointed to 10 and 2 on a clock face. From here, we're going to do our tapping. So tap under the collarbones to regulate that immune system. Feel the power of this stance as well, really empowered stance. And center of the chest, take a big breath in and let out an ah. Ah. Good, and then knock on your ribs. Good, and now keeping your little squat here, we're gonna bring the hands to the heart and take a little deeper squat. And then inhale, straighten the legs, reach up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale. Exhale. As you do this exercise, feel yourself in relationship to all that is around you. Relationship to your surroundings, but to the oxygen, the air around you, all that supports your life. We'll do one more. Good. Pause here. And then start to heel toe your feet together and walk your legs back together. This time with your palms up, like you're holding a tray. Soft knees. Maybe a soft gaze out in front of you, or maybe eyes are closed. And bringing to mind those intentions for healing for your body, mind, and soul. Receiving all of the support that you need for healing, for clarity of mind and how to create healing, how to support that. Let your one hand rest on your lower belly and one rest on your heart. And possibly, if you're visual, you could imagine just sending this healing energy to those places in your body or in your soul. That need it most right now. Good. So we're going to use our strap for this next one. And your blocks are in front of you. We're going to come back into our wide stance. This time the toes are pointed forward. And this part with the strap is optional. It's just a way to open the chest a little bit more. So you can take that or leave it. You can bring the strap behind your back with your palms facing away from you. And hold on to that strap, create a little tension in the strap so it's not loose. And squeeze your quads. So I want you to squeeze your thigh muscles and feel your kneecaps respond to that. Right? You got to squeeze that. And keep that squeeze. If you can, pull your belly in and start to hinge forward with that strap behind you, lifting it up so the shoulders are lifting away from the ears, so the arms are really active, reaching for the sky, pulling the straps kind of apart, the strap apart from itself, nice and tense, and stretching through the lower body and the chest. Big breath in. If you have a strap, go ahead and just drop it behind you and let it stay there. And then come into your wide-legged forward fold. Let your head drop as much as it can or wants to. And your hands are on your blocks or on the mat. Feel your weight shifting just a little bit forward toward the balls of your feet. Good, and then start to straighten your arms so that you can come about halfway up, and then heel toe your feet together until you can come up with a flat back. We're going to come into our tree pose. So our inner thighs should be nice and warm. Our balancing muscles are warm. We've been working on those a lot. So having a chair next to you is always welcome. Let's start with our left leg as our standing leg. The toes point forward. Lift your left toes and then try to spread them out and then place them back down. And allow those to be your roots. And then squeeze your thigh again and bring your right foot somewhere inside of the left leg. It can be low, your toes can be on the floor. It can be a little higher. So create a nice strong base, a nice trunk of your tree by pressing the leg into the foot and the foot into the leg. Remembering to feel for those hips, make sure that they're level and that you're not just sinking into that left hip. You might need to lift the right hip a little tiny bit to create level hips, and then branches or hands to the heart. And breathe. Find that place of stillness, even within the wavering and the blowing from side to side. Find the stillness that's deep inside of that. And release. You can shake that standing leg out. And when you're ready, go ahead and come into tree on the other side. Continuing to breathe in full breaths through the nose. And release. Good. We're going to come right to the floor. I'm going to give two options for this if you prefer to be in a chair. So we're going to take Badakanasana, first on the floor. So you can sit on the edge of a blanket if you need a little height under your sits bones. And feet will come together. And then blocks can be used a myriad of ways, right? We can prop the knees, or we can bring the blocks in front of us, maybe put them on the feet and stack them and bring the head to the blocks. You have lots of options with the blocks to keep you comfortable. And then from the chair, I really like this option. You have the blocks still in front of you. You come to the edge of the chair with your feet nice and wide, so you're getting an inner thigh stretch and you're activating your glutes still. And then you come forward onto your blocks with your hands. Let's see, I'm going to stack. The first one is going to be flat, so it's a little more stable. With your hands, you can come forward, bending the elbows, just letting yourself come into a forward fold. So the feet need to be out in front of you enough so you don't feel like you're going to topple over the chair. So make sure the feet are out in front of you enough and wide, and then start to come forward. And you get the same benefits, similar benefits as a floor Badakanasana. Opening the thighs and rounding forward, creating a little softening of the nervous system, quieting of the nerves. And you can really control how much you're getting, especially with blocks. Good. Breathe and release your head and your neck and your jaw. Good. And then slowly use your hands to press yourself up with your belly engaged. Come on up from whatever place you were in. Now, if you're in a chair, go ahead and stay in a chair. If you're seated, we'll come up from our Badakanasana, and you're going to keep your left foot close to your right butt cheek, and hug your right foot in close for a twist. So you can twist to the right, looking over your shoulder. If you're in a chair, same thing. You're going to bring the legs together though for this. Bring your left hand to your right knee and use the chair to help guide you into a gentle twist. And we're all inhaling and lengthening the spine. The crown of our head just reaches up to the heavens. As we exhale, we allow the spine to rotate as much as it wants to without force. We're slowly going to unwind from this side. If you're on the floor, you're going to take the second side. This time the right foot's coming in close to the butt and the left foot's coming close to the body. And taking your twist over that left shoulder. coming out of this twist. And we're going to come onto our back with your straps, or one strap is enough. So we'll just stretch out any parts of our legs that maybe still need it, especially from our standing poses, the challenge of those. So you're on your back. Let's first bring the knees into the chest and just rock from side to side. What would feel good right now for you? Good. Bring your feet to the floor and hold on to that strap. Bring it around your right foot. Either the middle of the foot or right around the ball of the foot. And wrap your hands around the strap, or the strap around your hands. And decide if you're going to bend that left knee or straighten it. And just start to, as you flex your foot, start to take your leg through some small ranges of motion. Just looking for any place that feels tight. I imagine that if you cross your foot over your body, or your leg over your body to the left, you might get into that outer hip area, which I think is pretty tight on a lot of us. And notice what your body needs, and just take a minute or so to release any areas that need it. And go ahead and release the strap from your leg and cross that right ankle over the left knee or thigh, and take your figure 4 stretch. Pressing the right knee away from the upper body. Noticing what's happening in your jaw. Is there any tension that you could release from your jaw? Good. Go ahead and let that stretch go, that pose, and we'll change sides. Strap around the left foot, midfoot, or ball of the foot. Make sure the shoulders shimmy down away from the ears. So we've got an open chest area and relaxed shoulders and neck. And start to explore this leg. What does it need? How can you assist the stretch? How can you co-create some health and wholeness in this leg? Where is your breath? Begin to release the strap. from this side and cross the left ankle over the right knee or thigh and come into figure 4. And then slowly release this side. Hug your knees into your chest and bring your feet to the floor with your knees bent and check in with your body. What other shapes or stretches do you need to help release tension to prepare you for Shavasana? Take a couple minutes to do anything that your body needs. And you're always welcome to come into Shavasana early if you need a little extra rest today. But I'll ring the bell when it's time to officially settle into Shavasana. If you're already in the Shavasana pose, noticing any place that could let go a little bit more. Is there anything that's working that doesn't need to be? Give yourself the gift of compassion and tenderness, setting the body up in the most comfortable way it can be for the next few moments, to create an environment for integration and for healing. With every exhale, allowing the body to be heavier, to connect more to what is beneath it. With every inhale, bringing in healing and life force. Knowing that although we may have illness or injury Although we may have chronic issues that maybe can't be cured, we can always be healed. And when we can find a place of peace within, no matter what is happening in the world and in our bodies, when we can find that center of peace, we have found our wholeness. We have found healing. So I invite you to rest in that contemplation, to rest in the space of healing, to rest in a place of sacred peace. Shalom, 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 shalom. Begin to notice the air as it moves through the nostrils, filling up your lungs, letting go, exhaling. Let your breathing deepen to help awaken all of your senses, your touch, the weight of your body, the filtering of light through your eyelids, any sounds or smells to awaken you fully to this moment. And as you begin to stir, you can gently press yourself up to a seated position if you aren't already, and bring your hands to your heart. Let us take all of the healing that we've created in our own bodies, minds, and souls and share that with the world around us to radiate and emanate that energy. And please join me in our closing blessing. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free. May all beings be loved. And may all beings have peace. May it be so. Ken Yehi Ratzon. Shalom.